Happy January 20th, 2025, people in the community of North Branford. I just would love to take a moment and acknowledge this day, this Martin Luther King Day, and all the great things and movements that he started to get all of our lenses valued and heard. And also, I would like to welcome the new administration and congratulations on the inauguration today. So let's take a moment of silence to remember and be proud of who we are as Americans. So tonight, I wanted to read to you a little excerpt of my favorite essay. It's called The Tragedy of the Commons. It's by Garrett Hardin. And I think now more than ever, staying informed and involved is really important, so your lens is always heard. But something to remember in this virtual world as we come to you through this camera lens, and if you see us on social media, it's important to keep this in mind. And this is coming from 1968, so take that for what it is, timeless. In passing, it is worth noting that the morality of an act cannot be determined from a photograph. One does not know whether a man killing an elephant or setting fire to the grassland is harming others until one knows the total system in which his act appears. Quote, "One picture is worth 1,000 words," unquote, said in ancient Chinese. But it may take 10,000 words to validate it. It is as tempting to ecologists as it is to reformers in general to try to persuade others by way of the photographic shortcut. But the essence of an argument cannot be photographed. It must be presented rationally in words. And that is what the driving force between the community lens is for me, to keep us grounded, to keep us open, and to keep us listening, not reacting, but listening so we can find the common ground and move forward together. So I'm Kara Papa. I'm going to talk about the January 2nd Planning and Zoning meeting. I was not there in person, but I did watch it on TV, and I do have some comments to make about it. And I'm joined by
Hank Petrowski. I'm a member of the town's Hazardous Waste and Recycling Committee.
Welcome, Hank. Thank you so much for being here tonight.
You're welcome. My pleasure, Kara.
So just to start off, Planning and Zoning meeting was January 2nd. It was a short meeting. There was one application that went forward, and then there was one public comment. And I just want to bring it forward because the citizen was there and went forward and was talking about his neighbors, and he was asking for help from the Planning and Zoning Commission. And they were very responsive to him, but they really couldn't give him any help because it turned out that what his worries were already encoded in the property itself. And so I felt the frustration by watching the video, because sometimes when you go and ask for help and people want to help you, but they just can't. So it's important, like we say all the time, remember, we're all volunteers on any commission in town, and we do want to help, but there are, laws and boundaries that are in place, and sometimes that can't happen. So I hope we can keep that in mind when we hear those things and don't get so frustrated. And I would love to have the gentleman on Community Lens, if he would like to come and share his lens on the meeting next month. That would be wonderful, because that's what this is, so we can hear each other and move forward. So what's going on with recycling, Hank?
A bunch of stuff. As I said, I'm part of the town's Solid Hazardous Waste and Recycling Committee. We're a group of volunteers that report to the town manager. We are appointed by the town council to a 2-year term, and our job is to advise the town manager on all things about waste disposal. There are a bunch of laws that we are bound to follow, so the town manager has a lot of things to do, so it's good to have a group of folks that can keep an eye on things and what needs to get done. So that's one of our main purposes is when laws change about recycling or trash disposal, we need to let the town know about that so we will be in accordance with the law. One of the things we do on a yearly basis, and hopefully you all received one of these in your most recent Tuckahoe Times that was mailed to your home. It's our annual trash and recycling card. Has everything on here you need to know about what to do with all the things you have in your house that you need to get rid of. Dates are on there for different events we have, electronic waste, leaf drop-off, things like that. So any questions you have, please refer to your yellow card. If you didn't get one, because they only go into the Tuckahoe Times issues that are mailed to houses, so if you have a P.O. box or you might be in an apartment building, you might not get one. So there are extra copies at Town Hall and the library. So if you need one, you can't find one, please call the town manager's office and they'll be able to link you up with one. Other than that, you go on the town's website and the link to our page, the card is there. So again, that has everything you need to know about how to get rid of all the trash and recyclables in your house. Like I said, 3 times a year we recycle electronic waste. That's basically anything with a cord. A company out of Waterbury called Take Two comes down to Public Works on a Saturday morning, one in April, one in July, one in November. And you bring your stuff down, you don't have to get out of your car, they unload everything for you. So nice, again, electronics need to be disposed of properly, and this company is authorized and licensed to do so. One other thing we collect at these e-waste events we started a few years ago are mattresses and box springs. Most people, like in the past, I know I've done it, you have an old bed, you put it out at the curb for bulky waste, and John's comes by and picks it up, and it goes to, whether it goes to a landfill or it got burned or now it's shipped out of state to some landfill because we have none in Connecticut anymore. That's, it's gone forever. However, we have an organization out of Bridgeport that recycles most of the components out of a bed and box spring. So if you at all can, and I know most of us don't have trucks and minivans or something that we could throw some bedding in to bring down to Public Works, but if you could get a family member or a neighbor during these events, please bring it down to Public Works. We will, again, we have volunteers there. They'll unload your vehicle for you. You have to load it on your vehicle, but once you get down to Public Works, you don't have to do that. We'll unload it for you. Again, it'll get picked up the next week or so, and 90% of the components in that bed and box spring will be recycled. So that's good. It's not getting burned or dumped in the landfill.
So I think that you've answered the hottest question in town. I don't know if you covered it yet, but when's bulky pickup again?
Let me refer to my card, Cara. Well, actually, it's interesting because the April and the November e-waste pickups, we have the weekend before bulky waste. We do that so folks will hopefully bring the stuff down to Public Works and they won't put the stuff on their curb. So let me see. It's the week of April 14th and the week of November 3rd. And again, the e-waste will be that Saturday before April 14th and the Saturday before November 3rd. So again, if you can, please bring your mattresses and box springs down to Public Works on those 3 dates that we do e-waste.
I'm not sure if you can answer this question or not, but I've actually brought an old mattress to the Guilford drop-off landfill because they have I'm not sure if it's a federal grant or a state grant to do the mattress
Okay.
recycling. So can most residents
From my understanding, no. Guilford they're Guilford and Madison transfer station. And I see postings on social media that some residents do have some success in bringing stuff to Guilford, but it's really Guilford and Madison, so I'm not quite sure how they got through the security, but if they did, good for them. But most residents, I don't think, would be able to do that unless they've changed their rules. But the last I talked to them, probably a year or so ago, they told us no.
Okay, that's good to know. And another question I have is, I just want to make clear for a minute, if you're having bulky waste, the things that you put at the end of your driveway are going into the regular waste stream if John's picks it up, correct?
Yes.
So when you have the electronics pickup and the, like you said, the mattresses you can bring down, we're keeping those things out of the regular garbage
Correct,
stream,
yes.
which is a good thing.
Exactly.
Yes.
And the electronics, most of that stuff gets recycled too. The wiring there's value in copper and the gold there's valuable metals inside your computer stuff and stuff. So that's where those companies make their money, is by recycling all of that stuff. They get the value out of those precious metals that are in there. And then they recycle the plastic and the metal containers that everything is in. So most stuff gets recycled and not thrown. But yes, it's sad when you put a perfectly good table out at the curb and bulky waste, and you see John's dump it in the back of the dumpster, and it just gets compressed and it's gone. Now it's gone forever. So I like on social media, on Facebook, we have free items that people post, and it's great that folks can put that stuff out there. Hopefully we could do more and more of that and get some big items in there instead of just kids' toys and some clothes and stuff.
Yes, because it's important to remember, as my professor in my undergrad used to say all the time, there is no away. So even though we're putting it on the curb and they're taking it somewhere and crushing it, it's still going somewhere, and it's made out of matter, so it's still here. Mm-hmm. Well, this is awesome. Thank you so much. We should mention, both Hank and I are participating with our Common Ground group that we talked a little bit about last time, but since it is January 20th, we want to remind everybody that on January 26th, we will be meeting at Good Vibes from 1 to 3 to have a nice community gathering and bring in some food pantry canned goods. They just moved into the old North Branford Police Station, and Miss Nay will be there to tell us all about that at Good Vibes on Sunday starting at 1 p.m. So please join us. Hank, do you have anything you want to?
Yep, just come down, help participate, share your thoughts on your community and what's going on, and we'll be happy to try to take whatever message you have to the correct people to see if anything can get done. We, again, as Carr said, we're just volunteers, so we have no authority. We just kind of take people's messages and pass them on. So we'll do whatever we can to help.
Thank you. Thank you for being on tonight, Hank. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome. My pleasure.
I just want to say in closing, again, thank you for watching. If you would like to come on the show, please reach out to us. Our information on contact is shown at the end, and we would love a share on social media. And if you do and you have a company, we would love to put up your billboard. Aruba from Zion Vacations, Get Ready with Megan Shea, and anybody else who would like to be included would be wonderful. Thank you so much, and we'll see you at the end of February.